Hey, Tyler here with e-bike commuting. Going to be walking you through the Aventon Aventure e-bike today. Alright, so let's start with the pros of the Aventon Aventure. So the Aventure is a class 3 e-bike, which means it has top speeds of up to 28 miles per hour on pedal assist. This extra speed gives you that flexibility to go faster when you feel more comfortable, when you've got those straightaways. This makes your ride both enjoyable and super efficient. It's also equipped with 4-inch fat tires. These Kenda fat tires make it super comfortable to ride, going over any bumps. So for added comfort, you've got the front fork. That combined with those 4-inch wide tires make for a super smooth ride across city streets, gravel, really anything, and the Aventon just cruises right over it. It's also like that the Aventon comes with the built-in fenders, and they don't come down as far as some other brands, but regardless, the fenders do provide good coverage to keep you dry, or relatively dry, on those rainy, wet commutes. The other cool thing about the Aventon is just how integrated the battery is. So it has a super slick look. You almost don't even realize it's an e-bike. So they've got the battery integrated here, and the keyhole is right there. And all you do is when you turn the key, this whole side panel just pops out, making it pretty easy to pull out and charge when needed. Aventure also comes with hydraulic disc brakes, much nicer than mechanical disc brakes, just super smooth, supple when applying brakes, which I really like. The other neat thing is that the integrated brake light back here, you can see right here, when you apply the brakes, it turns on and gets a little brighter, which is nice. A lot of bikes just stay dark. This one turns on as I'm applying brake, it lights up, which is a nice little added benefit. The light is a lot further down than I'd like, just because the visibility with the tire here is greatly reduced. It would have been much nicer if they'd placed it somewhere higher up, or maybe on the rear fender. The rear hub motor provides a lot of power. This is a class 3 e-bike, so it definitely has got a good acceleration, good punch. The one downside I've noticed is the acceleration and the pedal assist. They use a cadence sensor. The cadence sensor is just a little bit delayed, so you start pedaling probably about 3 times before the power actually kicks in. Same with the throttle. So you've got a throttle up here. Applying the throttle full down, it's about 2 seconds until the power kicks in. Definitely I would have expected to be faster. Like on the rad power bikes, when you apply that throttle pretty much immediately, it's applying power, which is much more enjoyable and easier, more intuitive when you're riding. Let me show you that issue. So I apply full power, and now it kicks in. So it's definitely about 1.5, 2 seconds before power really starts to kick in, which is definitely a little annoying when riding. I think the biggest downside is that it's very heavy. It's 74 pounds. It's, got big tires. It's gonna make it kind of hard to move around, carry, store. Not a great bike if you live in a small apartment and need to carry it upstairs or store it in a tight space. The other thing is range. The website says that they get 45-mile range, but in real-world testing, it also states that it's closer to 27 miles. So this bike definitely eats up the charge quickly. Not a deal breaker, just something to keep in mind. If you've got a longer commute, you might have to be charging on both ends, versus a bike with, that gets a solid 45-mile range, no problem. You wouldn't have to be charging as frequently. Definitely not a deal breaker, just something to keep in mind with the bike. One other thing I've noticed is that because the wheels are so big, the fender comes out pretty close to the front pedal. So I've noticed that when you're maneuvering around at slow speeds, and if your foot is creeping a little bit far forward, you sometimes might hit the front fender. Definitely not something you're going to do at like taking a high speed turn, because you're not pedaling as much, but just something to keep in mind. So that's the Aventon Adventure. Hope you enjoyed this video. You can find a full write-up on our website. I'll put a link in the description of this video. All in all, great e-bike, super fun, super fast, very comfortable with those big tires. Had a great time taking it out for a test ride today.